Okay, today we are starting reasoning and logic. And so before we get started too far into reasoning and logic, we need to be able to understand what a statement is. And in particular, it's not just a regular statement, it's what we call a propositional statement. And this term right here, the propositional, means that it can be proven to be true or false. That's what that propositional part of it means. So a statement refers to a sentence. So we know we have a sentence. We know in this statement it has a fact, and that fact can either be true or false. And the last piece that's in it is that it cannot, and I'm going to emphasize this here, be both true and false. It cannot be both true and false. It has to be either or. So let's take a look at a couple examples, right? So something as simple as it is raining, right? It's a simple sentence. It's right there. We can look outside and see if it is raining or if it's not raining. So it can be proven to be true, okay? Another one might be the snow is cold, right? It's just a statement of fact. Another one might be the sun is in our solar system, okay? So all of these things are examples of propositional statements. So let's take a look at what is not a propositional statement, and maybe that might help you understand more about a regular propositional statement. Well, what we know it is not is a command. So a command is like, go sit down, or please go get me a tea, or please do not harass your brother. Those kinds of things are commands. Next, we have a question. A question means that you are asking or seeking additional information. That would not be a statement that we could go straight from where it is, okay? And then the last one is an opinion. And the reason why an opinion will not work is because two different people may have two different opinions, in which case that statement would be both true and false. So an opinion won't work here. So ultimately, why are they not statements? Well, there's really one major thing. They cannot be proven to be true, or false for that matter, right? So let's look at some examples. I might have, please get my gloves, right? That is a command. It's that you understood statement. Another one might be, why is it raining? That's a question. And the last one, dodgeball is the best movie ever. Well, that's debatable, right? So that's an opinion, so we can't tell one way or the other whether that's true. Okay, so now I want you to take a moment and test yourself. There are 6 statements here, and I want you to take a look and see, are these statements or not statements? Okay, are these statements or not statements? And you simply go over here and circle yes or no. Go ahead and pause this video and complete that for me. Okay, now that you've completed it, let's check your answers. We should have, yesterday was a Tuesday, we definitely can figure out if that's true or not. That is a statement, not an opinion or a command or question. Please get my keys. Nope, that is a command. Is the store open on Saturday? Nope, that's a question. Nirvana was overrated, but their drummer was cool? No, and it's no for 2 reasons. One is because of an opinion. The next is because there's 2 pieces of fact in there. A statement should only have one. And then 4 plus 3 equals 7. Yes, that's a statement. Even though it's a mathematical sentence, it's still a statement. And then 7 minus 2 equals 6. Yes, that's a statement, because you can prove it to be true or false. It's okay if it's false. All right, let's take a look here. Do we have to write out these statements each time? It is a lot to write. So what we can use is symbols. So we can use variables to represent statements. Often our symbols in logic and reasoning will use the letter P. It commonly uses the letter Q, and it typically goes on from there, labeling generic. Just like in algebra, you have X or Y that you use a lot in your variables. In logic and reasoning, we start with P, Q, R, etc. Does it have to be only those? Absolutely not. So for example, up here, that sentence that said yesterday was Tuesday, well, I might want to call that Y, or I might want to call it T to actually help me remember which statement it is. So it's okay to use something other than P, Q, R, S, T. If they give you a variable, you do need to stick with that variable though, okay? What if we have the opposite of a statement? That's what negation is. So negation is a fancy way to say the opposite of. And we do have a symbol, and it's called a tilde, right? It's like an approximation sign. And so if we have a statement, let's say we have a statement P, and that statement is the rose is red, then negation would look like this. That tilde and the P, and then that statement would look like the rose is not red, right? I don't want to change the meaning of the original statement. So if something is, then it becomes isn't. If something is not, then you lose that not. You don't change red to something like blue, right? If the rose is red, you don't change it to the rose is blue. That's not technically a negation, it's a new statement. So I want you to go ahead and take a look at these statements down here and see if you can go ahead and turn those into negation statements. Go ahead and pause the video, and then we'll go over these. Okay, let's check your answers. You should have, instead of today is a cloudy day, you should have today is not a cloudy day. Instead of the balloon is red, the balloon is not red. Instead of I am not happy, I am happy. Do you see how we lost the not here to change it? I lose track of time when I scroll TikTok. I don't lose track of time when I scroll TikTok. Math is not my favorite subject. The negation of that, we just remove the not. Math is my favorite subject. And that can be proven to be true or false, right? Okay, here's an example I want you guys to do. P, London is the capital of England. So here's my P statement. Q, Dobermans are black and tan. What I want you to do on the next box is to write the symbols for not P and not Q. That should be pretty easy. Go ahead and pause this and see if you can go ahead and come up with those. All right, let's check your answer. That should be not P and not Q. So those should be your two symbols. And then the new statements, we've got to write them in their negated format. So if London is the capital of England, then the negation of that would be London is not the capital of England. And then Dobermans are black and tan. Dobermans are not black and tan. Okay, so there is our first lesson in logic and reasoning.